I'm Kerrie Oconnor, and welcome to the Kerrie Oconnor Show, the talk show where I share with you the wisdom and insight that I received through my psychic clairvoyant abilities. My show focuses on self-empowerment and reclaiming your divine heritage. I am here for you during these times of great evolutionary changes on our planet to offer guidance and inspiration so we can all get through this time a little bit easier. This is what I love to do, and I welcome to join me because this is a call-in show, and you can ask any question you want, but I do ask that you get ask the detailed question and keep it to one question. The number here is 1-800-930-2819, and again, that's 1-800-930-2819. And to give some information out with me, I co-host with Dr. Pat, the Dr. Pat Show, and you could reach me at KerrieO'Connor.com. That's www.kerrieoconnor.com. On the email address, when I refer to the free energy exercises or the energy tapes that I have out that is available to be purchased that you can listen to while you're sleeping, is union1111 at yahoo.com, or again, KerrieO'Connor.com. And today, before we went to the phone lines, I had the subject of the day be counting your blessings, seeing that it's Christmas Eve. A lot of times we are all doing our hustle and bustling and getting ready for the holiday season, be it Christmas, Hanukkah, all the holidays that are happening around this time of year. And a lot of times we get really off-balanced in the, or it's a good time, I shouldn't say, I don't want to put out there people off-balance, but most people kind of do get off-balance. They don't feel, they're running around in their giving department, and they're deciding what people want, and they're pulling their hair out and trying to tap in and figuring out what the greatest gift is. And it's a great period if you look at it energetically, because this is all about giving and receiving. And part of the making you more balanced during the giving and receiving time is having the space of, everyone always talks about, and I know I've done several shows of having an attitude of gratitude, but that goes along with really counting your blessings and really getting into a habit. I always talk about good energy maintenance. It's just like going to the gym, but this gym you could do from the comfort of your own home. You could do it from the comfort of your own bed before you get out of bed. You set a little timer is what I do when I just really, the timer is to kind of get me in space just in case I fall back to sleep, which sometimes I do, and or just to make sure I am keeping myself on track just in case I get too involved in what it's kind of like morning prayers. But when you sit there and you set off and set your intentions of what you're going to do, and also really count the blessings, be happy with what you have. And I know a lot of times with the readings that I've been doing in the last 6 months in particular, what I noticed is a theme of people feeling really very soul tired is what I could describe it. Just really like something's got to give. They feel soul tired, like they're doing something wrong, or they feel like that brass ring is right outside of them, and they keep on seeking for it, and then the brass ring is like a trick. It gets pulled away as soon as they feel like they're ready. It's right in their grasp. And what I see as far as how we manifest and how we create peace and happiness and joy in our life is the opposite. We are always kind of seeking on the outside, and what we have to do is create a solid foundation within ourselves and look inside and really expand in an attitude of gratitude and really count the blessings that you're happy for. And then that creates literally starts changing your frequency within yourself. And that frequency, you think light attracts light. Think of a 100-watt light bulb. I usually do use simple terms to keep it quantum physics simple, because it doesn't have to be that difficult. But the more you lighten up yourself, the more you clear yourself, the more you change your frequency, and you can change your frequency very simply, that messages that you put out to the world, to the universe, by if you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have all this to do. I have to get Aunt Claire a gift, and Susie and Jimmy's so difficult, like I have to see him the next tomorrow, and just stop repeating those things in our head and just say, wow, I'm really thankful that I have family to see for those people that don't have family to see tomorrow or during the next couple of days. And or let's say you're not seeing family, you're being grateful that you're being able to have some time off at work. There's always had several clients say to me when they've really reached a point of being really what I call that soul tiredness, that they really were at the point of despair where they felt like they didn't have anything to be thankful for or count their blessings for. And so I would point out simple things as in being able to get up the next morning. This just one day is a huge blessing. We have to be able to be alive is huge in itself. And then if they stop looking on the outside and say, I don't have anything to be thankful for, because they're engaging their happiness on something outside of themselves, if they have that job or partner or family situation, that thing that goes, the family's all in flow. And if they don't have it, that's how they judge their happiness, instead of looking on the inside and really creating a solid base of what you're happy for, your health, or even if you're going through the health crisis, you don't have other things. Worse things, You might be going through a thing with the endocrine system, but you don't have cancer. And, it's interesting because I was brought up in a family that we were told this. I'm one of 5 children and from a big Irish Catholic family, and we would get together to go see my Irish grandmother, who was actually Adelaide O'Connor. She was very funny. She was very good with show tunes. She really was quite the entertainer herself, same with my grandfather. So I was really brought up with a very much of an atmosphere where we would get together every weekend with my cousins. And so there'd be 23 of us all around, and my parents would have a couple cocktails and get out the music and start singing Oh Danny Boy. And then they were really show tune people too. I think they were all actors and actresses wanting to hit that Broadway. But anyway, what I noticed was that a theme that throughout my own family of origin and through my cousins, if we got hurt or if we were whining about something, it's more like if we were complaining, Susie's not playing with me, or Kate won't let us play. They really, my parents and my aunts and uncles always kind of said to us, be thankful that you have 2 legs. Or a lot of people are be thankful for the food. If we whined about what we were eating, you're lucky. There's starving people in Africa. And I was born in the 60s, and I know that a lot of kids my age had the saying of, there's starving kids in Africa or around the world. And so I know part of the kids' mentality would be, here, send the squashed peas to the kids in Africa. But when you think about the message that was given, was that they were kind of, when you look at it backwards as an adult, what they were saying was, get over yourself, get out of yourself, get out of your headspace right now. And not in a cruel way. They were just, and sometimes it would feel cruel when I was trying to, if I could be particularly feeling sorry for myself, or my feelings were very hurt, and they would kind of blow it off. And what they were really just trying to do is snap me out of my frequency that I was showing right now then. And the frequency could have been very brooding, or it could have been really even painful, and they were trying to kind of snap me out of it. And so I see that those particular family sayings had a strong influence as far as really saying, count your blessings. Be thankful for you have food on the table. Be thankful for you have 2 arms and 2 legs. Be thankful for, and even when some horrific stuff would happen. I was kidnapped when I was 19 years old, and I remember my mom even said something along the lines of, be thankful for it was, we're glad it was you. You're better at thinking on your feet than your sister Erin, who also worked at the store. And at first I was very hurt and blown away by what she meant by that, because it was a very traumatic experience. But looking back at it outside of my ego being hurt and shocked and traumatized, I understood what she was saying. My sister would not have had enough, different constitution, so she might not have thought on her feet as much as I did. So she wasn't coming from a part of, I'm glad you went through this experience. It was, we're glad you're back and that you survived this, and we'll work through you to get through this very traumatic, horrific experience. But it was the beginning of being able to help me really understanding there's blessings even in the most horrific things that you could experience. So that's the topic of the day, and we're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to go to our first break, and we come back. We're going to open up the phone lines. So
Check this out. Did you know that spending just 30 minutes a day in a portable sauna that uses far infrared technology can burn hundreds of calories, rid your body of toxins, and reduce pain? Listeners of the Dr. Pat Show can enter to win a portable infrared sauna from Detox America. Enter by December 31st by calling 888-338-6987 or send a message with your contact information to info@detoxamerica.com. And in the subject line, put the Dr. Pat Show Sauna Giveaway.
This is your Peak Living Tip of the Day. A quick message from your Centers for Peak Living, Crown Hill Chiropractic and Valley Chiropractic Wellness Center. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Prevent poor health by simply eating well, thinking well, and moving well. To learn more about this simple, effective approach to optimal health and wellness, visit us at drscottlynch.com or crownhillchiropractic.com. Again, that's drscottlynch.com or crownhillchiropractic.com. This is your Peak Living Tip of the Day.
Why do people travel across the globe to see Dr. Nusheen Darvish at the Holistic Medical Center in Bellevue? Is it her specialization in women's health, allergies, and chronic illness? Is it because she founded a uniquely comprehensive, integrative clinic for cutting-edge, non-invasive, and FDA-approved therapies that improve the health of all patients? Yes, it is. Find out for yourself. 425-451-0404. That's 425-451-0404.
The Fair Trade Certified logo on a label offers consumers a simple way to know that the product was produced in a responsible manner. It's your guarantee that there was a fair and responsible exchange of labor for a fair wage. Buying only fairly traded products is a socially responsible, enlightened message you send saying you vote for a win-win for everyone on this planet. This message has been brought to you by Equal Exchange. For more information, visit equalexchange.com.
Imagine for a moment what your obituary might sound like right now. Then imagine how you would really like it to read. Actually, you unknowingly write and live your obituary every day. It's time to be more intentional about how you live your life. It's time to find and create your ideal path in life right now. It's time to be the best you can be. Visit BeTheBestYouCanBe.net for more information about life coaching and the life-changing book, Our Journey is Our Work. That's BeTheBestYouCanBe.net.
Ramsey of RamseyInvesting.com has been a certified financial planner for over 20 years. Ramsey Investing provides balanced, smart investment management to a broad range of people through the online web service RamseyInvesting.com. They are fee-only managers who do not sell financial products. They invest your money for you, track it, and make adjustments as needed. You don't have to worry if you're in the right investments or not. That's their job. Visit RamseyInvesting.com.
Radio with no added hormones or preservatives. All natural alternative talk, 1150 AM.
Okay, welcome back. And we are just about to go to our phone lines, and you can reach me at 1-800-887-1201 for private readings, phone sessions. I do them all around the world. And again, KerrieO'Connor.com is the website to catch up on all the updates of we're doing teleclasses, real-time classes, all that stuff. You can catch up. We're constantly doing stuff. And I put my predictions up for the year 208 on the website, too. So, Devin, why don't we go back to the lines?
All right.
Go to the line.
We have Yvonne on the line.
All right. Hi, Yvonne. How are you?
Aloha, Kerrie.
What's going on, Yvonne?
Yeah, I recently had to quit my job.
Okay.
My boss handed me an ultimatum to accept the nepotism, and as well as they're addressing the inappropriate behavior of a male employee towards young women in the workplace. My concern is this going to escalate, and am I going to be involved in regards to how will I, where would I place my energies?
Okay.
That's my concern.
Okay. When you, all right, so you decided to say, no, I'm not going to take this, and you walked out, right?
Yeah, because he showed me either I, accept it, because this person's his cousin, or I quit.
Okay. Okay.
And so I told him to quit. And my concern is, whether I would, is where do I place my energies? Is this going to escalate? I preferably, I would not wish myself to take it to the next level, because I don't know whether if the other people would, speak up.
Right.
That are involved.
You know what's really interesting, Yvonne, is that especially the last 3 weeks in particular, I want you to, it's really fascinating what my guides, the council, have been showing me. And visualize a piece of paper that's a lined piece of paper, okay? So you see the lines on the piece of paper, and then I see, visualize 3 lines. So there's, the top line, the middle line, and the third line, right? And so, and now I want you to go back, so think 1, 2, 3, right? And then the bottom line, think of that as chaos and disruption and separation. Think of the middle line, the second line, as stepping out of the chaos, more synchronistic events, and having more flow of your life. And the top one is what I call that fourth elevator, that flow, and really living in that masterful place. And when I started seeing this this symbolic language, what the council was showing to me is that what we're getting out of it, especially this year coming up, is what the council calls the year of being the master with infinite possibilities. And so here the situation is that, and here, think of all of us, we're born into that we're in the middle of changing this, but I'm just going to keep it as right now, all of us until we're after the next couple of years, we're born to where we believe in this. We go down to number 3. So there's kind of a chaos thing. A lot of us aren't born in the thought that we're not separated, right? And so that's something that is our spiritual journey here, to go up the ladders, go up to, I want to get out of this chaos. And then really, when we're out of this chaos, then we notice more synchronistic events. We notice really how much strength we have inside of ourselves, and then it pushes and it urges us, and even electromagnetically pulls us up to that fourth elevator of more joy, more peace, more happiness, right? And so this is the year in particular that the last 3 years has been a real lot of shaking. And think of it this way, Yvonne, where you got out of a place that has a lot of chaos. It was pulling you off. It was think of it as a lot of chaos in the situation, right? So it's a lot of not stability energy, so not stable energy. So you could do one of 3 things. And what the thing that Spirit showed so clearly is they don't have an opinion on what road we take, right? They love us regardless, because that's what unconditional love is, right? So, and when they first said that, I was like, geez, you don't hope for the best that we have, we take a certain way. And then they said, no, Kerrie, that's love with conditions. We're teaching unconditional love. So we support you any way that you want to do it. If you want to do it, not level number 3, 4, 5, that's being a master, because you guys are writing your own script. And so what you're doing, Yvonne, is that you're sitting here and you're writing your own script, and you're saying, I'm scripting out. There's 2 master writers, and we could tell in our life who's more of the writer, the ego or our master part, right? And so what I'm seeing is that if you want to, you could look at it this way. You're saying you don't want to get into the chaos, you don't want to get into the drama, that right now you're not choosing to engage in that. And so then if that's the choice that you as a master are making, it doesn't mean that you're not saving the world, or think of, by you leaving, you made a big statement within itself. Your energy left that institution, and so it opened up, and everyone got the message, be it energetically and without the spoken word, or they heard about the what was going on. And so your message was delivered, either energetically or not. And this is even with people that could be on different shifts. We all hear stuff. Just think about how we all adapt, or part of our subconscious picks up the thoughts of our era, like women should be in the kitchen and men should be the boss, and that was in the 1950s or whatever. So it's not that that's talked about; it's just culturally supported, right? So you leaving, and I'm seeing you energetically stand there, and I'm seeing you not turn around, and then part of that natural teacher, helper, healer in you, have you know, not as an NOKW, know that you made a difference, that by you, sometimes there's more power in not saying anything, and especially when you hold that posture of the master. If it turns around, and because I'm seeing you walking away and not turning back, if you were, if I saw you turning around, not looking back, but then you were dragging a ball and chain with you, that would mean I'd be saying something totally different. That would mean to me that you're, even though you could be putting it behind you, you're still dragging it with you, just like I see a lot of people could do this with relationships. They are divorced from the person, and then they still carry the person energetically, which is really kind of typical when we're in a job, especially if it's been charged. And so it would be not uncommon for you to have some residual things, because this is a very charged situation. This really hits you right in the gut, right? But I see that you have it's just very the outlines of the ball and chain. So that means to me that there's a real part of you that has already been working on this, that you've been feeling and sensing this on the air. So think of on an energetic level, you've already been separating yourself from this job, and in a big way. And so that's what they are showing you and reminding you. And so this has you where, as far as any kind of ramifications, there's not, because you're holding that posture. I'm going to tell you something, and I see this more and more. And this is even the most intimidating thing. When we hold this, the energy of the fourth elevator, it is mastery. It goes beyond any kind of engagement, and it goes right to actually has such a high frequency of love that it's like we become untouchable. So think of that. That's what you're putting out there, that you're going up, you're starting a new life here, you're taking the pearls of wisdom, you're leaving the pain, and you're really stepping into this, just a whole new beginnings. And this is actually, if you really think about it, it's perfect for the year coming up of being able to really step into that mastery and really feel like you're writing your own script in a way where you weren't really, I don't want to say allowed, but I didn't feel like it was appreciated in that other job. So now you're writing up a new one.
Right.
Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that makes a whole lot of sense, because I really felt that this will play out on its own in actuality.
Right.
And I just need to move on.
And also remember, you set a tuning fork, and what people don't really maybe not energetic see, or what, let me say that if this is continuing to amaze me, is that when our energy is gone, we leave an energy imprint, regardless wherever we are, going through a grocery store, or never mind when we are invested and we work somewhere. And so we leave our thumbprint, we leave our energy in a blueprint, we leave our energy frequency, our attunement. And so that's where when some people are gone, people are like, wow, things have really changed since so-and-so left the job, or so-and-so came on to the job. People, it can feel palpable. So think of it as that people are going to feel the movement. So think that you're getting your message, but again, you're saying the message on an energetic level versus doing it on a verbal level and say, hey, I want to be the whistleblower, and I want to talk about the next to them, because I'm seeing. And it's not that like your hands are tied. You were just deciding that you're already opening the door. You know that the winds of change are there, because the winds of change are around everywhere. That anything that's in the, like people are doing shadow stuff, is coming up to the light. So you open the door energetically to then have the light go in, and the light start taking out the places where there's shadow or discord energy. So you've done your job there, and so it's been you energetically. It's time for you to move on. So think of it like that. And also, I see that you're there was I hear too much static. So there was something along that in that job that was creating a lot of static and friction that was keeping you harder to stay on task. You know what I mean? As far as, so you could have been picking up on that stuff and all the other things. So. And I'm not seeing anything like any worries, is what your grandpa's saying. No worries of something coming up. And are you worried that you're not finishing your job karmically?
Well, yeah, because I'm well, I feel like I need, that this will play out. And, I'm worried, though, in regards to, like finding another job. And so would there be consequences of, my just leaving it, and whether they would give me a good reference? Right.
No, think of that. And this is another perfect example of how when you think of them, and they think of you, because this is where, you know what, I really know in the next 3 years is where, this is what amazed me. My friend David, who I do a lot of different other radio shows, and he started actually on this show hosting with me, David Turco, he said, Kerrie, do you know that there was a physicist in the year 1987 that proved and won a Pulitzer Prize or a Nobel Prize that proved that we are 1/billionth% matter, okay? And the rest of it is energy, right?
Right.
And so 1/billionth, and that was in 1987, right? And so what does that mean right now? Well, what it means right now is that we're really waking up on a cellular level of what the rest of our energy is doing. 1/billionth% matter, and the rest of that is our energy all around, and our matter is energy too. So what we're doing is really stepping into, as far as you're consciously going up to the first line in the paper, you're getting out of the second line or the third line where there it was chaos. You're writing your own script that you're releasing any kind of thoughts, Yvonne, that this is going to come up and they're going to come to bite me. They're not going to give me a good reference. And because what will happen when you hold that posture, you will literally change the frequency. So you apply for a different job. The guy's going to think about you. The first thing he thinks about, when he thinks about you, he goes into your energy. When anybody thinks about anybody, they go into their energy. He feels your high part in your mastery versus the other part of your leaving. So then he doesn't give you, he gives you a good reference because you are putting out there all your strengths, and he's not going to go to that one part that you decided to leave. Do you know what I mean? And so
I understand now. That's where I'm hoping he will go.
That's where you're more than hoping. This is the key to manifesting that. You're more than hoping. You're thinking that you're not only thinking, being that. Visualize him thinking, right? Have yourself go through the whole script. He gets your name and have him, right now I'm seeing 3 papers on his desk where 3 referrals. He's thinking about you. He has a smile on his face because he sees your steady work habits, you're the good worker, the more that you did the 100th mile, you did everything, you changed the people, blah blah blah. So that's what he's remembering, and then he's going to. It's like the part of not of the leaving because of nepotism and stuff like that. He doesn't want to roll that whole, get that whole ball rolling, or think about that he doesn't want you to feel, him to feel a snowball, so then he could have repercussions. So that's what you want to hold. That's communicating to him energetically. You're saying, I'm leaving and I'm opening the door, so knowing that the light's going to take care of the rest of this. I'm leaving here, and so part of our agreement is that you're not going to stonewall me anyway. And so you're saying this on energy to energy, from his higher self to your higher self, and and nobody can block that out. Even the people that don't believe in energy, they think we live here, then we die. They can't block out the energy because you're doing higher self to higher self, all the best of all souls involved.
Thank you so much, Kerrie.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful, happy holiday.
I will. Thank you, honey.
Okay, bye-bye. And Devin, why don't we go to break? We're at the bottom of the hour, and we'll be back for the more of the Kerrie O'Connor show. And when we're returning, I'm going to be taking more of your phone calls. And Devin, you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
You ready to go?
So, yeah, I'm going to give the number out one more time so you could reach 1-800-930-2819. Again, that's 1-800-938-2819. And that's the number you could call in on, and the phone lines are open. So we'll go to the break, and we'll come right on back.
Are you tired of being tired? Are you sick of being sick? Learn about energy medicine from Donna Eden, the world's most joyous and sought-after spokesperson for alternative medicine. She will share how you can shift your energies to create health and vitality using quick and easy techniques. Learn about Donna's classic book, Energy Medicine, her DVDs, trainings, home study programs, and professional certification program at learnenergymedicine.com.
Are you a person of positive influence? Krista Gibson and Rhonda Dixon of the New Spirit Journal would like to invite you to enjoy Good Company, a monthly networking gathering of people of positive influence that meets the first Tuesday of every month, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at Alfie's Pizza, 2317 Broadway in Everett, Washington. To attend, RSVP to editor@newspiritjournal.com or call 206-799-7753. That's 206-799-7753. Do you need help losing weight? Does your diet need improvement? Are you having problems getting motivated to exercise? At Personal Training Team, they design a program that works for you. Get results and achieve your fitness goals. Train in their private studios, or they'll even come to your home. Visit their website, personaltrainingteam.com, and call for a free consultation at 425-885-4825. At Personal Training Team, they make it personal. personaltrainingteam.com.
Has the pet food recall left you confused and concerned about what to feed your four-legged family members? Sam's Cats and Dogs, naturally, has you covered with expert advice and information about ingredients or how to supplement a fresh food diet to keep your furry friends healthy and happy. And all our foods are unconditionally guaranteed. Visit us at samscatsanddogs.com. That's samscatsanddogs.com. In Monroe, Washington at 206 East Main.
I'm Dr. Pat Basilli, and I'm excited to be the Master of Ceremonies at the upcoming Extraordinary People 2008, a 5-part lecture series beyond words. 5 nights, 5 extraordinary speakers, each with a message of hope, inspiration, and love. Join Greg Braden, Alan Cohen, Deepak Chopra, John Holland, and Iyanla Van Zandt, all right here in Seattle. Save by purchasing the entire series and get 5 for the price of 4. Tickets are on sale right now. Go to thedrpatshow.com for dates, information, and to purchase your series tickets right now. Single tickets will be available for purchase on December 1st. Don't miss this spectacular opportunity to be inspired. Go to thedrpatshow.com for more information and to purchase your series tickets now. Series tickets would make a delightful stocking stuffer for someone you care about this holiday season.
News, traffic, and weather? Now you can get your information fixed weekdays on Alternative Talk, 1150 a.m.
All right. Welcome back to the Kerrie O'Connor Show, and I am Kerrie O'Connor, and I'll be with you until the top of the hour. And Devin, let's go to this, take some more phone calls.
Let's talk to Linda.
All righty. Hi, Linda. How are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you.
Good. How can I help you today?
Well, my dear, I think I'm doing pretty darn good.
Okay, good. Wonderful. Let's talk about Linda's wonderfulness. I love it.
We can do that. But I'm kind of curious, and I just bought a kitty, a little healing kitty. But I wanted to ask you if you can give me a word about my son. Let me just give you kind of the scenario.
Yep.
He was working in the food service business, the hospitality business, and the supervisor had never supervised before, and she was kind of mean, and she'd grab people and, and she'd yell at them and stuff. And he tried to be really nice, but she was telling everybody how mean he was. But he has, his name is Christopher, and he was born August the 2nd, 1987, and he's kind of a cool guy. And you know that too, don't you? Just,
yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
And
he comes. So what? All right. Well,
that job, he just kind of walked away from it because he didn't want to confront anybody or go up higher because she's part of the hierarchy. Actually,
right.
The ownership.
What's interesting is the theme of today. It's just always fascinating to me that if we were to do, because I have several radio shows, if this would be the theme of today, as far as people leaving jobs because they're on the crossroads of do I invest? What kind of investment is this energetically? Is this worth my energy investment of losing energy or not losing energy? And so a wise investment is to not lose energy. And sometimes there's always a bigger picture. And so when I'm looking at, say, Christopher's energy, he definitely comes in as one of the indigo crystal kids. And right now his energy is turning from the early indigos are turning into the crystalline energy. So he's going through a metamorphosis himself, and so are you. And think of the kitty even comes in as far as balancing the energy and kind of anchoring and grounding the house, because that has definitely a healer energy. Comes in with a lot of priestess energy. So think of as far as Christopher comes in, and he knows his entitlement, let's say, and he's entitled to, as we all are, to have grace and ease, and he also has a thing of inclusive. Let's pull this in together, but he has very much he knows how to manage people too at a young age. I mean, this kid is young to be able to do this, and he is very intuitive in a very clear cognitive way, and he's very he's right up. He's very yellow-green, and yellow-green people, he leads with that color, and it's crystalline energy. So that means that any kind of business would be right up his alley. Yellow-green people have the widest arena of what they want to do and can do, as long as they're flowing, their energy is flowing. That's the most important thing for them, because if they are in a stuck job or where they're not appreciated or constricted or something like that, boss being abusive, that's not a good. That's like static or nails on a chalkboard to their energy. So him. Yes. Like walking away is, again, he's saying, I'm investing my energy, and this is not a wise investment. And wherever we are contracting our energy because of the people, that is not a wise investment, because it takes a toll on us. It's like turning down visualize, I tell people, think of the thymus, which is 4 inches below that indentation on the throat, and it's above the heart. That's where I see the high heart energy. The high heart is that's about unconditional love, not love with conditions, and we're all stepping out of the cellular energy of learning through love with conditions. I love you if, I love you when, I love you all the very conditional. So we're stepping out of this as a global world, and really getting inclusive, one world, one heart, one earth, brother, sister. And this is where it's a huge acceleration of this over the next 4 years at a cellular level, where every single person vote counts in this. And so Christopher is very much aware of this on a cellular level. He is And so he is very much, I'd call a peaceful spiritual warrior, and he can't be brought down. So that's wonderful. And so him, again, just like what I said to Yvonne, is that there's power in the words as far as of him leaving, and also there was some sort of contract with that woman's karmic contract with that woman. It could be just the really surprising people that come into our life. That it's like recencies in lifetime, and it can be brief, but it can be very karmic. And so, and so she could have not. She wasn't going to speak to him. See him in the real light, regardless, because I see static all over her. When she looked at him, all she saw was static. And so, and actually, that's a reflection of her own static, because everyone's a mirror. You know what I mean? So she couldn't get out. Yes. She couldn't really see him.
She accused him of being abusive, whereas she was abusive.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's the old, you spot it, you got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and part of the whole first of, if you really, I love Greg Braden's book as far as Divine Matrix, because he points about all relationships are mirrors, and there's 5 sacred mirrors to go through. But the first 2 is either is something that you spot, you got in yourself that you might not want to recognize or admit that you have that in yourself, or it's something that we could judge. And if we judge it, that cuts our energy too. And so it splits us because we judge it, so we make it separate from ourselves, and separate is what we're not. Separate is about being separate, and we can't be separate because we're all connected. Think of the unified field. So Christopher, I'm seeing, especially when it comes into mid-January, so that's like in 2 weeks. I can't believe that. I just feel like I was just saying that 2 weeks ago about last year. But with him and you in particular, the next 3 weeks, I'm seeing you doing a lot of 222. So that means for me, manifesting, really spreading the wings. He's really stepping into Phoenix with fire energy, really balancing that feminine energy where he's going to take off, and really by the second week of January, something already is coming up, and he's already taken off on this, and I just keep on seeing these huge angel wings, but they then turn, I hear Phoenix in the fire, so he raises not only right way above it, he in a short period, I'm looking in June and July, there's a part where he could run into her or see or her hear about him, and she gets the full picture of what he was there to act. Like she could finally see him differently and even see the gifts that he has to offer. So he's going to go straight up, but I also see you doing this too. So there's a part where you guys are what I call going up to that fourth level together. So there's a part where through thick and thin, you guys are going up there together, going up to the fourth elevator, because it feels a lot better when we don't have chaos and that static chaos that keeps us out of attunement. This is all about getting into alignment and attunement, and that's where we can hear our soul's code. Then we get to recognize our synchronistic events. We intuitively get more attuned to our higher self, soul's code, whatever. All 50 million names for the same sort of energy. It's like they say God with 50,000 names, 72,000 names, and no name at all. It's what they say in shamanism.
That's right.
The higher source. And so that's what you guys are both doing.
Kerrie, now he's applied for another job a few months ago, and we're hoping that that's going to come through in January. Do you think that's a possibility?
Yes, absolutely, because that's the second work of January, or second week in January. That's really no time at all. I mean, that's to me. To me, energetically, we're already in January. So I'm saying January 2, he's already taken off on this. And so I see that why he hasn't heard from it is just holiday stuff. You know what I mean? As far as people just getting stuff in order or vacations or whatever. So think of that there. I'm seeing they're further along the process than you guys might know that they are, and as far as hiring or narrowing down, and so definitely second week of January, and then I'm seeing as far as February is a huge other leap. So he could be within that corporation where they're pruning him or priming him for another spot. He sees another spot that down the road he wants to go to, but I'm seeing I see him with his huge wings, definitely on the takeoff thing and being ready to take off. And again, when I'm looking at June and July, he's like laughing, but not like laughing, not like a hee ha ha ha, like I got her, but laugh, like kind of getting the whole karmic lesson as far as with this other job. Like if it wasn't for this woman that had the discord, he could have stayed in that job, and this other place has a lot more room for growth and to go up there and to meet the people. Meeting people that could really help him climb up that ladder there. So, so he's definitely in the energy of taking off, okay? And there's something similar with you, that you're doing the same similar things, Linda, okay?
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Kerrie.
All right.
Have a good holiday. Bye-bye.
You too. Okay, so we're going to go take a break, and I know we have another phone call on the line, so when we get back, we'll go right back to the phone line. So this is the last break of our day. You're listening to the Kerrie O'Connor Show on KKNW.
Are you one of the millions of frustrated people who can't take off weight or keep it off on a low-fat or low-calorie diet? It's hard, isn't it? Well, don't despair another day. The Sugar-Free Miracle Diet is the answer to your prayers. I'm Karen Bentley, and I lost 130 pounds on this program. I'm also the founder and CEO of the Sugar-Free Miracle Diet Company. Go to sugarfreemiracle.com, that's sugarfreemiracle.com, and get started today.
It's that time of year. The skies are cloudy, the air is chilly, and the day's growing shorter. Do you feel sluggish and cranky? Zoe Lotus Healing Arts has revolutionized the treatment of winter blues. They combine light and sound therapy, gentle acupuncture and massage, aromatherapy, and herbal teas to lift your spirit and lighten your mood. Call 206-601-7204 or visit zoelotus.org. That's ZOELOTUS.org.
Hey, Benny, I'm going to buy a car this Saturday.
Oh, no, you can't do that then. I just looked at the good timing guide, and there's a timeout that day.
What's the timeout?
Well, listen, every few days there's an astrological period of time when anything you start has severe problems. You can get better results by not taking important actions right then and there. Go to PolarisBusinessGuides.com or call 877-524-8300 to get your good timing guide. Then you'll know when to act and when to wait.
Ladies, your soul is whispering to you. Are you listening? Imagine a woman's magazine dedicated to your inner journey and the deeper aspects of a woman's life. Do you feel an inner tugging of the heart, a desire to live deeper and connect more fully? Aspire magazine features inspiring articles, interviews, and more, and is the premier inspirational and spiritual publication for women. Aspire magazine, inspiration for a woman's soul. Subscribe today at aspiremag.net and have inspiration delivered right to your door.
I'm Melody Beattie, author of Codependent No More. 7 times more Americans have hepatitis C than AIDS. If you're one of the millions of Americans with hepatitis C and your doctors are treating you with interferon, then you're clearly aware of how your life has been turned horribly upside down. Backed by huge pharmaceutical monies, the medical community swears there's only one dangerous, disabling way to battle this silent killer. It's not true. There are alternatives and they work. Triumph Over Hepatitis C is a book written by best-selling author Lloyd Wright, who fully recovered from this frightening disease. Lloyd is helping others to take charge of their lives and fight for their body's freedom from this crippling illness. Call the people at Hepatitis C Free now at 866-HEP-C-FREE. Don't become another medical statistic. Find out the truth about hepatitis C and get your life back.
Get your copy of Triumph Over Hep C at Borders and at hepatitiscfree.com. Call 866-HEP-C-FREE.
Like what you hear? Be sure and support the sponsors who support your favorite programs on Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
Welcome back to the Kerrie O'Connor Show, and I am Kerrie O'Connor. And here we are at partnering in with the Dr. Pat Show and KKNW, and you can reach me at kerrieoconnor.com. And we do encourage people to look at that website a lot because we are always updating with new shows and new teleclasses and free exercises and a whole bunch of stuff happening. So to keep up with what we're doing in this our expanding business, it's a good spot to get into. So, Devin, why don't we go back to the phone lines?
All right, let's talk with Alita.
Hi, Alita. How are you?
Hello, Kerrie. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. How can I help you today?
Just a real quick thing. I wanted to say this to Linda, to Chris's mom, who just got off the phone. I have a kid who has a very same color configuration, crystal, indigo kid. Went through an abusive situation. I would have done anything to have stopped it, but Linda, it's astonishing. This is to Linda, how that kid moved through it. It took a long time, but it strengthened him so much. So I pass that along to you. I think these kids, they come in, the mommy thing makes you protect, but these kids come in with so much.
Right.
Great strength.
You know what it is, Lee, that they come in here with their sense of entitlement, just like I was talking to Yvonne, the first caller, as far as the lined paper with the 1, 2, 3, where the first line is chaos, and we learn through chaotic situations, trial and error, that kind of thing. The second one is we start becoming more attuned to synchronistic events and start really saying, wait a minute, something's got to give here, and we start hearing our soul's code, our soul's song. And then that third level is the top of the line is really step into our mastery. Know that we came down here for a reason, in that every single master, the Ascended Master said you could do this too and more, and these kids are coming in knowing that. It's written in every one of our DNA. They come down. We tend to come down with that. We learn through chaotic systems and go up, but the beautiful thing is they've come down to help bridge that. So we're going up, that we could have gone down to the third line, but we're now going up. But we're meeting at that first. The bridge is the second elevator, second line, and that's the increasing of people with the synchronistic events, the increase of people stepping into what's their soul purpose, and even just think of the movies that are out. What the bleep do we know anyhow? The Secret, all of those, the new Louise Hay's movie out, You Can Heal My Life. And so it really is showing our the global consciousness shifting, which is in a huge, huge shifting period. The next 3 years is like take your seatbelt on and put your hat on, because we're really be invited to do this really quickly. And these kids are the bridgers. Their energy frequency literally is helping us go through this faster, so it doesn't have to do through trauma or where we're holding on to stuff. Even energetically, we could hold on to. I've had clients where this one woman came in and she was divorced. Her husband cheated on her, and she was all angry and stuff. And he died, but he died 40 years ago, and she was holding on to him energetically as if it were happening yesterday. And so you can imagine how much energy she was leaking to that situation and wasn't living in an empowered place right now. So that's thank you for sharing that message, because it's not only for you guys with these kids, it's really for all of us to. I've got some crystal kids myself, and so and the wonderful thing is that our energy, and this is where a lot of people don't remember, is that we're constantly in flux and changing. So our energy is changing crystal too. So you and Linda are early indigos yourself. I am too.
Oh, I'm such an indigo.
Absolutely.
I'd love to. She struck me so deeply. I wanted to say that. The thing that I've been aware of being what's now called indigo. Gosh, I guess since I was 3, and about 22 years ago I had an experience that absolutely shifted me. It taught me very clearly and very literally, in a way I could learn it, how literal oneness is. I felt that it was very important that I share that since then, and went through some very goofy ways of trying to share it. I am now 52. I am very frustrated that I have not found, although I have shared it in individual ways occasionally and sometimes, and certainly with my kids. I mean, I was a good mother for them to pick. I've got to be able to share this in a broader way, and I need some help with that. And I'd also like to know if recently, if there are some recent deceased people who have been in touch with me.
Okay, all right. That's a lot. The first thing, the good news is 208 through the rest of this year coming up is the year of the Master with Infinite Possibilities. So you're holding the Master templates, so you're stepping into your birthright, right? And so what you're doing is literally opening the horizontal grids in the energy field to hold more of that light, which is more of our frequency. And so and then that's going to electromagnetically pull in circumstances. And what it is that people are waking up more. Again, think of the past, the movies, but what and the shows and people waking up. What I see is that global consciousness. I see it like the right ear is listening. It's like E.F. Hutton, big ears. And so when I see that symbolically means that people have been taking the information and really doing cellular healing within themselves. But now this coming up year and the next, for the rest of our incarnation, they're being urged to go out. It's time to symbolically get out of our closets, to go out and to merge. And so what they will be doing, Alita, is to find people like you that are grounded, that you make sense with this. You've been there, done that, and you're helping. So this is a whole. This is a huge year of stepping. Think of it as the year 208 is a 1 year, which is all about new beginnings. And what the council, who is my guides, have absolutely said to me, that there's more of a push than ever for us to take action. And again, action is to go and to find and to group up with people that are reflecting the same back, and with those people that are on the edge, that they're afraid, will be drawn to people like you that are making them not afraid. So get your pencil out, get your pad out, have it grounded as far as different classes, different seminars, different tarot classes, all of those things that you want to do to help the people, because this is the next, especially 18 months to 3 years, there's a huge explosion in this. And all you have to do is walk to a mall. I was shopping yesterday, and I was looking, I said to the council, I said, wow, because I've been hearing this forever, and I feel really blessed that I co-created, and I wrote, and I worked my behind off to do what I'm doing right now. But I was proactive. I just didn't hope and wish for it. I've been through a divorce myself. I've been through some real tragic stuff myself, but I just kept on going for what I know is the truth, and that we all are invited to step up to our mastery, and that we all can do this too and more. And that is my truth since I knew it, and I saw Jesus and Mary since I was little. And so that was what they taught me, and that's in every single fiber of my being. And I see that in yours too. And so this is really where a push is going out as far as of you connecting and actually magnetically bringing the people forward. As far as the deceased first person that I got drawn to was not the one that you expected. I saw my Uncle George, who got disconnected kind of with the family through some unfortunate circumstances. And so I'm seeing him off to the side. So there's some uncle that comes in off to the side that could have been disconnected, and he doesn't have to be a technical uncle, but there's a George or Jay or Jimmy connection. Or George, no, he keeps on saying George or George. And he also wants to call out to a living J. So that could be J as in J-A-Y or J as in a strong J name, that he comes in off, and it keeps on pointing to you little, and so that means that he could have known you as little, but think of when he goes over, he sees your energy and you help him over on the other side. So we got to close. We're really tight on this. So just think of that. You're talking to the people. They're opening up the ways. Connect with them. You got mediumship yourself, and so abilities yourself, and so they're saying thank you because when you help them over, you help everybody. Okay?
Oh, Mary, happy to all of you.
Yes, and we'll see everybody next week. And so thanks for being a great audience, and join me every morning from 10 to 11 here on KKNW for another hour of Kerrie O'Connor. I am Kerrie O'Connor, and may you align with the divine.